a nice message from God to humankind when He picks out certain groups and describes them in the worst words someone can use. If I had a book, or actually, if someone comes to me and wants to invite me to his religion and brings a verse up saying, hey, actually one of your ancestors were pigs and apes, and we know that Quran actually means literally they're turned into apes and pigs, which causes so much hate towards Jews in the past and in the present time. Because if you put 1,400 years Jew hatism in heads of people, then of course you get such a huge bubble of hate against the Jews. And then you create stories about the Jews. Jews are bad, Jews are controlling the world, Jews are this, Jews are that. Put yourself into their shoes when someone comes with a book and says, hey, what's your name? Abu Bakr. Says, Abu Bakr, look, I want you to invite to my religion, but my religion says actually some of your Muslims are pigs and monkeys. So would you actually think, wow, this is a nice book and gives me all the options to join this beautiful and nice religion? And this is the reason why I left Islam. Because there was no point to stay longer in such a religion which describes human beings in such a low manner. I don't get this point.
Which religion do you follow? Any religion?
This is not the question.
Okay, you raised a few points.
You don't need really to follow religion.
It's just a simple. It's not a trick question. Simple. I want you to know.
No. What I mean is, if you leave one religion, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to join another.
I didn't say that. I agree with you. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It's just.
I'm an atheist.
That's fine. So it's quite interesting. I mean, the reasons you've given why it has led you to leave Islam after 20 something years or more of actually practicing it, believing in it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you allow me to just share some of my understanding of these issues, if you don't mind. Yeah? Okay. So you talked about how slavery was one of the issues. The Quran talks about slavery, and you have an issue with this. Assuming,
indeed I have, yeah.
Assuming that you expect the Quran to somehow free the whole world from slavery at day one, and that's it. Yeah,
because Quran was able, because Quran was able to do lighter things like forbidding alcohol, forbidding pork. So why he was not forbidding slavery? This is a big issue for me. Not eating some pork in an area where actually just no porks are existing, no pigs were running around.
Sure.
So why God was so much concerned about eating pork and stopping people from drinking alcohol,
let's talk about,
but not stopping this very, very serious issue.
Okay. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sent to Arabia, was he in control of the whole world as a political leader at that time? That he could change the social, political, economic, moral status?
No, clearly not.
Clearly not. So let's ask one simple question. Did slavery exist outside of Arabia, in other cultures, in other societies, in other nations?
Indeed.
Right. So while he was there, slavery was happening elsewhere?
Yeah, sure.
Right. And you expect the Prophet ﷺ, while he's just in this Arabia, to wipe out slavery that exists in it elsewhere? At the time that he was there,
he was very fast in wiping out eating pork and taking.
That's not moment.
Yeah. You know the hadith.
So
people throw their alcohol.
I would like you to take it slowly. Was the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ somehow involved in removing pork, as you mentioned, from the people of other cultures?
Well, if you put the radius down to his society,
that's not the question.
Can we talk about his society?
Please, that's not the question I asked you. You talked about outright, total stopping of slavery. It's like that's it.
Yeah, because Quran was very quick in stopping some other things.
I've understood your question. So if you allow me to
Why
now,
not slavery? Slavery is a big issue.
see, we need to understand
Okay, go
what
ahead.
it is.
Go ahead.
So, was Prophet Muhammad ﷺ involved in totally getting rid of people eating bacon or pork in other cultures?
Of course not.
So when the Quran talks about Muslims don't eat pork, are you saying Allah totally wiped out eating pork? Is that what the solution Allah has given?
No, but Islam came with the claim.
Claim of what?
Claim to
About pork
wipe
what?
out pork, wipe out alcohol.
Where does it say Islam came to wipe out pork? Where?
Yeah, it's forbidden to eat, isn't it?
For who?
Yeah, for Muslims.
For Muslims.
Exactly.
Right. And for non-Muslims?
So why is it not forbidden
One second.
for Muslims to take slaves?
Excuse me. And for non-Muslims eating pork?
Of course not. It's not forbidden. But what I want to say,
I'm lost there. Has Islam came to abolish the eating of pork, full stop?
actually, Islam had the intention that everyone follows the rules, so that no one is actually touching pork. But what I want to say is that the Muslim community was asked not to drink alcohol, not to eat pork anymore.
You see,
right? It's a forbidden meat.
You're linking some things, but you're not actually linking it correctly. Let me tell you why.
So pork is allowed.
Please. There will always be people who would not become Muslims because of their own choice. Yeah, that's historically we have seen that. Always. It's
Can we
not.
put it down to the Muslim community?
Are you really interested in looking at my understanding of your concerns?
I try, but I don't
if you
know.
allow me to, then you will see what I'm getting at.
Try.
Right. I'm going to give you the reasons why Islam has not, from day zero, totally abolished slavery. And the reasons I am using examples of the historical context so that we understand, was it really that is something practical to do then or practical to do even today or not, right?
Okay.
Does slavery exist today?
Yes, indeed.
Right. So even after the world came together, human beings from different cultures and different societies came together and they made a contract. Slavery is forbidden by United Nations, legislations, whatever you call it, guidance or legislations. Slavery still exists. So you can't just saying, okay, Islam actually came to wipe out something like that when it may not be even practical. Hold on. Allow me to continue. I want you to carry on listening for a few moments to talk about the subjects, because it's quite interesting to hear our perspective. So when the Quran came to tell about not to eat pork, not to drink alcohol, it wasn't forcing this on the non-Muslims. Very clear.
I'm not talking about non-Muslims.
Oh, please.
I'm talking about Muslims.
Please, my friend, right? Kian.
Why is the explanation always so complicated?
The explanation is not complicated. The explanation is coherent.
It's a huge bubble.
No.
Just bring it back to one point.
My explanation is going to be coherent. That's what you need to understand. Coherent.
Can you condemn slavery?
Brother, let him talk, man.
I tried to understand.
I condemned people who don't use their reason.
I condemn slavery in all forms, back to the time of Muhammad and to the future and to the present time.
So does Islam. So does Islam.
So Islam is not.
Islamic stance of slavery is, whenever you have an opportunity, if slavery existed still, free them. Fakku raqaba. If you made a mistake, free a slave as an atonement.
Okay.
Yep. So Islam has always encouraged, always opened rooms to free the slaves or incorporate slaves in a society where they're not looked down upon like the slaves were.
Abolished by Quran or by a hadith?
Now let's go back to the question about was it abolished or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you allow me to speak and you listen?
Yeah, but bring it to the point.
Do you really think 28 years of being a Muslim?
Yeah, because I heard these arguments already. I just wanted maybe a better answer.
So basically you heard the argument. So I somehow sense some kind of preconceived bias already. I've heard it before. I want something new. I will give something new. Yeah? Which is this.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, when Islam came to abolish something, practices, You are wrong to assume it came to abolish the practices of people's diet, for example, their consumption of alcohol or pork. It did not interfere with the people of other religion, other culture who has this kind of particular way of living. Okay? It allowed, even if they were non-Muslims, if they became a citizen of the Islamic country, then they are able to practice and live their life accordingly. They can eat their pork, they can drink their alcohol and so on. Islam did not interfere with this. So your assumption that Islam came to abolish all of that is wrong assumption. Secondly, you somehow think we need to abolish slavery, but without understanding the historical context. As I said, slavery existed outside of Arabia. Slavery existed outside the control of Prophet Muhammad.
That's why Muhammad continued with slavery. And that's why he continued with slavery.
It will be difficult for me to make my points if you keep on, making all these points.
I'm very passionate.
When you talk,
I just don't know what's going on.
So am I. I'm quite passionate. Everyone knows I'm quite passionate. When you talked, and I made 2 pages of notes.
I talked to the brother.
No.
I talked to him.
Excuse me, we were both all talking, even though you were talking to him individually.
I just
was he listening? Listen, was he listening? Brother, he was listening. When we were talking together, excuse me, brother, cameraman, please. Cameraman, when we were talking in a group, I let you speak without even saying a word. I made notes.
Fine. Forget it. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I would expect you to listen, right? Not half an hour. It's not going to be half an hour. If you allow me to finish, it will be quicker. But if you keep on interjecting, it's not going to finish. That's the case in Speaker's Corner.
Before you start, can I ask you? Can you not say this and this and this lead to the end of slavery in Islam? Can you say that? I can say that.
I've already told you.
I can say never Islam, never Muhammad abolished slavery, never Quran abolished slavery, never history of Islam proved that slavery was actually abolished. So can you come to using this one instead of describing a huge story? Just
his story. That's all I'm doing, giving you a huge story.
No, just be quicker.
This is something for everyone to learn.
It's not existing.
Look. When people leave Islam, their mindset changes. That's quite strange. Their thought process has changed.
Of course.
Look at the change. The mindset that changes.
Longer Muslim and thinking like Muslim?
The mindset that changes. It doesn't look like a very open mind to me. In the discussion I'm trying to have, you already
ask you about slavery.
Excuse me. I'm trying to have a discussion with you.
I try to understand.
You keep on interjecting. You keep on bringing your biases. You're telling me how to respond. Do you see that? Not only you want me to affirm something, but you're even telling me how to affirm them.
Fantastic.
Look. Your mindset should be, can you describe the way you want? What is your understanding of this? That would have been a fair.
I only ask you
question.
If you can prove that slavery has been abolished, removed from Islam.
I'll tell you something.
That's the only thing I want to know.
I'll tell you something. During the time of Prophet,
I say no. Okay. It's a part of your belief.
Tell me when you finish.
If you would have a Muslim state and you would attack a non-Muslim state, you would actually able to take slaves, isn't it? That's the simple message. Thousands of scholars are saying actually the same every day. Go and search for meanings of fatwa, blah blah blah, netpub.com. You will see everyone is defending slavery. I just want to know if you believe, according to Quran, the Sunnah, or to your scholar opinion, that slavery has been removed from Islam because it's a bad idea and it's bad morality which comes out from a religion, isn't it? So now you can answer.
Are you finished?
I just want to know.
Oh, he's not finished.
If slavery is bad. Is slavery bad? Can we? Is slavery bad?
Tell me when you're finished.
I'm finished.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but please.
Did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? Okay.
Come to the point.
So you have finished.
Now I give you time for answering.
You're still speaking. Tell me when you're finished and you don't talk.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm silent now.
Good. Right. So the question is, has Islam abolished slavery? I'm saying during the time of Prophet ﷺ, it is quite clear the Quran didn't abolish slavery. Islam didn't abolish slavery then outright, but it opened and it gave you guidance and rules and regulations, indications and avenues how slavery can be eliminated. Why it was like this is from the wisdom of Allah the Creator. Why? There are many things which requires time to get rid of. It requires a lot of time to get rid of.
1400 years.
Thank you. It took the world how many years? Until recently. We're talking about in the 20th century where the world came together to sign a contract about slavery. What about 200 years ago? What about 300 years ago? 400 years ago? When people, humans then, when people like yourself, slavery is bad, what were the mental status and morality of the people 300 years ago, 200 years ago? Your assumption is